I'll just try. I'm going to come up on this side.
You're going to stand where I am. 2 minutes. Probably 1.5 now. There's no reason for me to be here anymore. 1 minute.
You're 1 minute. 1 minute. What's that? Am I in your way? No, I can see your.
You can't come up too far.
Yeah.
I sure did.
What time is all that? I'm going to zoom in.
He's gonna zoom in, so don't worry about my video.
I'm going to adjust the steps into the camera.
She said Iris now.
Chief Tom Hackney.
Here we go.
Good afternoon, everybody. You know, when I got out here to the south side this morning, I noticed there was a little makeshift vigil memorial that had been set up for Lonzie over there. So I walked over there and started looking around. Saw all the toys that had been left there, and it got me thinking about when my son Kyler was about Lonzie's age, how he loved to play with his toys, and see that out there and all those toys, and I kind of started getting mad. I've been heartbroken, and I've been a lot of things, and I got really mad this morning because I realized that little Lonzie Aaron Barton is probably not going to play with his toys again. Then I got looking, and the toys that were left out there, they're covered in sticks and dirt and rained on, and you know, that's probably exactly where Lonzie's been left, just like that, but probably with less love than those toys were left out there. Then I started thinking about the Crime Stopper tips. They're now $12,800 out there for the recovery of Lonzie's body, and that's 12,800 reasons for you to step forward and tell us where Lonzie is. It's 12,800 reasons when you only need one, because the one reason is to do what's decent and what's right and what's human. You know, we're out here today. This is kind of moved from the north side. We've kind of ceased our north side operations and moved back down here to the south side. This is a little bit of tying up some loose ends, but we are still data-driven, fact-driven, and intelligence-driven to where we are. We're spread out here to the south side, a little bit over off Bay Meadows Road, back into the apartment complex where this originally started. And we're doing what we can to turn this into it. I've been advised not to call Ruben Ebron a monster. So what I'll do is I'll leave it to the viewer, to the citizens, to come up with their own adjectives to describe him, and I won't call him a monster. Today we have 72 people out here working, and those 72 people will continue into tomorrow. They will be out here doing pretty much the same thing. I said yesterday that we had searched 40 acres. That was incorrect. I had that wrong. That was 40 square miles of ground that we've covered. 61 some odd bodies of water. And I can't measure this, but there's no telling how many gallons of sweat that these hundreds of officers have poured out over this, and probably quite a few tears as it goes. As this moves away from the search and moves more into to our criminal investigation, what we do will be less in the public eye. There won't be command posts set up, but that doesn't mean that the work that's moving towards this will be any less. Ruben Ebron has a right to a skillful defense. You know what? I have a right, just like that, to build a spectacular criminal case against him. And when I say I mean the hundreds of men and women who have been out here that wear a badge, and you know, some of them who've been out here that don't wear a badge. That's the I that I speak about, and the dedication that we have. So again, to the media, to the public, your interest and concern, thoughts and prayers have have been instrumental. But we're not done. It's not over. We will continue forward. I can take some questions.
Now you said you guys are breaking down the command centers at this point.
Well, we have this mobile command set up here. That'll probably remain out here through tomorrow. And again, as things develop and information comes in, it's fact-driven and lead-driven. If that leads us out or leads us to continue here, we'll be here until there's nowhere else to look, and until there's no more intelligence to have.
At this point, who all is searching for Lonzie?
Primarily today, this is just Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. We've got some resources from our DUI unit and detectives that are out here. Just some various officers and detectives that we put together to do this, and they're all dedicated to what we're doing.
Now, I know the search on the north side, that was quite an extensive search area, and you guys have already wrapped up that area. Was the technique in searching in the north side different than in the south side?
It wasn't different, but the number of assets that we had really led us to be able to push through those locations quickly. In some of the areas that we had up there in the north side, a little bit different than we had here. Could probably assume, based on some facts that we have, that some of the swampier areas, some of the deeper areas like that may not be exactly where we needed to look. But you have to grid those places out, and you have to look through everything. You have to go through what you're doing.
Has Lana met with Ruben this week?
I don't know. I started thinking about some specific questions that we have, or that the media has to ask me, and I just don't want to be in the business of building Ruben's defense for him. And I hope you understand that some of the questions you ask, people want to know, you want to know. But for me to do that's counterproductive. And, well, try not to be into counterproductivity.
You say you guys are tying up loose ends on the south side. Are you researching areas that you've already searched before? Are you going back over some parts?
It's a little of all that. There's some places that, as time develops and things go on, that physiologically object remains may lead us and draw more attention. Not to get graphic with that, but that's some of what's done, and we've checked and rechecked and triple checked. There's somewhere that we think needs to be checked again. It's kind of what we're doing, and missing some people that we maybe didn't catch from our neighborhood canvases. We have every one of those locations pinpointed out, and somebody didn't answer a door, going back to kind of touch that up, and that's what I mean by loose end.
As far as the reporting of the interview we had with the Star,
I read the article. Okay. I didn't have a chance to sit there and watch it, and I said it yesterday. I got to say it again. I am loving fiction story just like everybody else, and I really feel like what he is telling, and that may be part of what his defense is, and my comments about not building his defense for him. If you're telling things that are pointing fingers away from you, he probably has a pretty good reason to do that.
Does Lonzie's mother believe Ebron?
I can't speak for her. Like I said, from the beginning, she has been cooperative with us. When we've called her, she's been there. She's come in. She's done what we need to do. Looked at pictures, looked at evidence. But I don't want to comment or speak for what she does or doesn't believe.
Is it possible charges could be sought against her?
Let me say this. I will seek charges on anyone, and I don't care who it is, that I find that's associated with this case, that had something to do with whatever happened to him, with his disappearance, with wherever his body is or isn't. If there's somebody related to that, I don't care who, look out.
Do you think she had something to do with this?
I don't know. Again, this is things that I don't find to be fruitful to talk about.
Do you know Lana's whereabouts? Are you guys kind of keeping track on where she is? You can talk to her if need be.
Yeah, she's very responsive when we call her. She comes. So we're not tracking where she is, but yeah, we know that she's helpful.
I think we've asked this before, but in terms of Ebron's roommate, has he provided any information at this point?
He too has been very, very cooperative with us, but details about what he has or hasn't provided, I don't see that helping.
Is Ebron in detox? Is he being offered any medication as an inducement to talk or tell you guys anything?
No, there's nothing like that. His incarceration is standard where it goes. The requests that have been made for him to speak to the media have followed the rules that we have there in the jail, our policies and procedures as that goes. He can make a decision who he talks to, who he visits with, or he doesn't. That's kind of what has happened there. Yes.
You say you're going to build a strong case. Do you currently have a strong case?
I currently have a case that is getting better by the minute, and I'm not so much in a rush to make an arrest in that case. I would rather have as strong a case possible and then deal with the arrest. Don't want to just make an arrest and have that be the end of it. I would like what we think to be Ruben responsible for this and seeing 4 very dark walls for several years to come.
And about checking into, what he was possibly wearing that night to let the public know if they saw him, do you think that he changed clothes, or have you guys moved anywhere further with that?
Again, part of what we look at, part of what we see, and some decisions were made in reference to that, where I don't want something else to come out from these canvases that we're doing, from the businesses that we're talking to, and releasing that to the general public. That could hamper things in the future. And again, I'm not building his defense for him, and I'm not jeopardizing the case that we're building against him.
Back to the search. You said you guys will break down the mobile command. Will you still have maybe a couple of dozen people out searching every day? How will you move forward with that?
That's going to be fact driven. I certainly would not waste the resources of the sheriff's office to just go out and search. This is an 800-something square mile county, and there are millions of places that, without specific direction, that a 21 multiple could be left. I wish that every one of those 800-something square miles could be checked, but realistically, we were checking, double checking, rechecking, like you asked about, those places that, without giving you specifics, that we need to be checking.
I was going to ask if, are there certain spots in this area that you haven't checked yet? Because I feel like you've been out here for quite some time. You guys have checked a lot, so...
I won't say that there's places that we haven't checked, but again, this is kind of wrapping up loose ends, looking again, double checking. I think I've conveyed my feelings to y'all and to the public that we're doing everything we can for this, and if that means looking again, that's what we're doing. So, again, your support and attention to this matter is greatly appreciated. We'll have another news brief tomorrow, and then we're making a decision as to how often we'll update you on the case.
And any update on the sheriff's return?
I'm not sure. I believe he may be back and be out here with me tomorrow, but I don't want to lay a schedule out for him, but I think that's kind of the thought. So, again, thank you all for your time.
Thank you.